Hi there. Today we are going to look at 4 steps that you need to take in order to pass the GoTranscript test. 1 is reading the guidelines. So for those that are starting on a clean slate, those who haven't taken the MCQ test, you really need to understand the guidelines in order to actually pass those 10 questions. You really need to have grasped these rules. It's not necessarily that you need to have them offhead. You can actually have this page always open and you refer to them as you look at the questions. And for those who are retaking the test, I would say you can always come and review every guideline that you see here. Obviously, while you're working on a file, you will come across a sentence or a word that really needs you to edit according to the guidelines that are provided here. So I would advise that you always have this page open so that you can always flip from this page and the page that you have the questions or the page that you have the file that you're working on, so that whenever you want to refer to it, you can just always look at it. So yeah, you're basically expected to always apply all of these almost 25 rules or 28 rules in order to pass the test. 2 is doing the practice test. To cement your knowledge on the guidelines, I would advise that you take the audio practice test. Take as many as you can. I would suggest that you take all the transcription test and a few editing tests. I know they are pretty challenging when you head towards the 3rd editing test. I'd suggest that you do about 4 of them just to get the gist of how the work is done, just to have an overview of what is expected of you and to get to understand the structure of the transcript. They are not really perfect transcripts. They might have some few errors. For example, you're not expected to use the word etc. You're supposed to have the etc as etc. So you're not supposed to write it as etc. Even if it is spoken as etc, you're supposed to write it in full as etc. And yeah, a few stuff, but that's generally what you are expected to do here. So what you'll do is you just head over to one of the practices, you listen to it, and then you just type it. You type what you hear. And then once you've done the test, you can actually be able to get to know what mistakes you made. You let it show you the results and what is expected. So you can see here what was expected of you as a transcript. So that's pretty much it. I would suggest even do all the tests, including the editing test, just to get the gist of it, just to get to struggle with the level of audio and actually also to see what kind of transcript you can produce. 3 is asking for help. So you've read the guidelines, you've completed the MCQ test, and you've done all the practice test, and you've actually got all the guidelines at your fingertips. But unfortunately, there are some things that you'll find or that you're working on a file that are not in the guideline, or some of the things that you are handling on an audio test that are not essentially on the guidelines and you want some clarification on them. That's where you need to ask for help. You can actually do that by joining the GoTranscript Help Group. You'll essentially get anybody answer your question there. So I'd suggest that you join if you haven't joined. It won't take more than 48 hours before you get accepted once you request for the group, because of course it's a private group. So you'll essentially need to do that. It will be of great help to actually join the group and actually go and ask for help there. They are very good people. They are willing to help you there. There's a bunch of nice people there that are helping you, including even some of the support team there. They are just always there to help you, and everybody there is also helpful. And you'll even be able to find some of the answers for some of the questions that you had there. So I would suggest to join the group. The last and the final one is actually retaking the test. I had to take the test 5 times to actually succeed. So it's actually not that easy. So you gotta get comfortable with the fact that it's not that easy. So and you might have missed a few stuff there, you might have missed some conjunctions, some commas there, some punctuation stuff. So you gotta be keen, and the trick is actually to retake the test, because you are fortunate enough to get a feedback within 24 hours. So that's a good thing with GoTranscript. You get your feedback within 24 hours that you've not passed, and so you got the opportunity to actually retake the test within the shortest time possible. Unlike other sites that once you fail the test, they tell you to wait for 30 days, or even 60 days, so yeah, you can actually retake the test once you get notified that you've been declined. So that's the good thing with this one. So once you get that decline notification, you get into it. Sometimes you can actually retake the test that you had already taken. For example, I took a test that I had already taken, so I was fortunate enough to get that opportunity, but it always changes. I guess it always changes within 48 hours, so, or yeah, 24 to 48 hours they change the audio test. So if you're lucky enough, you get your feedback early enough, you can actually retake the same test that you took. So yeah, the trick is in just trying and retrying. Yeah, generally that's what is expected of you in order for you to pass. Yeah guys, thank you for watching.